2 years ago, my husband and I relocated from the UK to Nigeria, and today I want to share with you why we make that decision and how our experiences has been nothing like we thought or imagined. So this journey is rooted in several important factors that has impacted our lives and our family's future. I'm going to start with the cost of living. Compared to the UK, our expenses here in Nigeria is more manageable, allowing us to maintain a comfortable lifestyle and plan for the future, especially in terms of our retirement. As you can see, myself and my husband are not getting any younger, and we believe that to live the sort of life that we would want in our retirement, we have to start planning now. The cost of living in the UK can be exorbitant, although whilst in the UK, I wasn't living in the big city, but it is relatively still expensive where I lived. So in contrast, Nigeria offers a more comfortable lifestyle without compromising on the quality of life. So from housing to daily expenses, the financial benefits of living in Nigeria are substantial, and this allows us to save more and to invest in our future. Another reason is safety. I know some people are rolling their eyes already. Yeah, safety was another crucial consideration. Contrary to some misconceptions, I would say Nigeria is relatively safe, and this will depend on where you live. There are some regions in Nigeria that are safe and welcoming, and by the grace of God, we found a secured place that we can call home. But I have to say this, in the world we live now, safety concerns are global. In Nigeria, we have carefully selected a secured and well-managed neighborhood, and we found a place where we feel secured and safe. I must say the sense of community and vigilance in this area has actually contributed significantly to how we feel about Nigeria, how we feel about where we live, and we have peace of mind. Another reason will be the family bond. Moving to Nigeria has strengthened our family bond, and being close to our extended family like my mom and dad and my sisters has been nothing but joy and happiness and a sense of belonging, especially for my children. It feels so good as a parent to see my children thriving, having the family support, going to visit my mom and dad, that's their grandparents, going to visit them and having them visit us is something we take as luxury, because whilst in the UK it wasn't easy for them to come and go like they do now. The family bond is like priceless. I can't really put a price tag on that. The family support is another thing. I remember some months ago when I was going to attend a YouTube event, I just asked my mom to come over to the house to stay with the children so I can attend that event. Whilst in the UK it's expensive. Even if I can afford it, the fear of leaving my children to a total stranger is something I don't even want to think about. This is because I don't regularly use a nanny, and it will be such malarkey to find one at a very short notice. So the family support is another significant factor. So the next will be freedom. I say this and people look at me like, this woman, are you sure you're living in this same Nigeria? Are you sure we are in this same Nigeria? Yes, I think there's a system to the fact that whilst in the UK, your life is almost like regimented, your life is structured. I am not saying I'm a rebel. Like for me personally, I just feel too much of structure just make things so rigid and there's no flexibility. So for us, coming to Nigeria has given us freedom as a family, and living in Nigeria has afforded us a greater sense of freedom. Another thing I like about living in Nigeria is the ability to own and run your business or businesses with fewer bureaucracy. So this freedom has empowered us to pursue our passion and achieve our goals without so many restrictions like you get in the UK. I like the dynamics for entrepreneurs here. Don't get me wrong, there are so many challenges that you face as a business owner here in Nigeria. But for me, depending on the kind of business, I believe it's easier to manage some aspects of your business here in Nigeria. I would also like to talk about the diaspora community. This has been a delight. I've actually met 3 other families that have done the same, that have relocated from the UK to Nigeria. As we speak, I know another family that will be moving this July. So the diaspora community, especially in the area where I live, is growing, and I just like the networking, the coming together, and because we understand the cultural values here in Nigeria and their background and the culture, it's easier for us to make conversation. Also, because we have a common circumstance of living in the UK, even made it wholesome. Like there's something to talk about, from parenting to business to family to you name it. So having that diaspora community around, and it's actually growing, just makes me feel like, okay, I'm not the only one doing this, and it's so good to see the community growing already. So this community has been instrumental in making our stay here in Nigeria a delight. And the sense of belonging and shared experience is invaluable, something I can't even it's another thing I'm grateful for. Okay, the next one will be retirement. I say this I'm sounding like a broken record at this point. I always say, if you're in Nigeria living in the diaspora, and at some point you'll be retiring, the best time to start planning is now. For us, based on our family circumstance, for now, it makes so much sense for us to be here in Nigeria, working towards our retirement. I just like the laid-back lifestyle and the lower cost of living that I enjoy here. When I say that we enjoy here in Nigeria. And the prospect of enjoying our retirement years here in Nigeria just makes it feel like, where do I start from? For us, the advantages of retiring here in Nigeria is enormous, from the weather to the community feel and to the general slow-paced living here. I know I'm sounding old now. I'm not that old, but I'm getting there, so I have to start planning for these things. The next one will be the weather. The sunshine we enjoy here in Nigeria is enormous. You can have barbecues every day if you want. I remember when we came newly to Nigeria, when we relocated newly to Nigeria, we have barbecues all the time. Even Christmas was nice and sunny, which was quite different for us. I think I'll have to get used to celebrating Christmas in the sunshine, but that's by the way. Generally, the weather here in Nigeria is something that is uplifting. It just makes you feel good as you wake up in the morning, you open your curtains and you can just see, the lights, everywhere is nice and bright. There's this energy that comes with sunshine, and I really like that about Nigeria. And this is what we simply couldn't enjoy in the UK because the weather is erratic. I am not exaggerating. In one day you can get winter weather, you can get spring weather, summer weather, and autumn. It's just erratic, so you can hardly do anything with the UK weather. You just have to be intentional if you want to do something and say to yourself, I'm doing this regardless. That is how you get things done in the UK. And generally, I think it affects your mood. For me, it affected my mood. In Nigeria, because of the tropical climate, it offers warmth and sunshine almost all year round. And this consistent weather is not only invigorating, but also promotes healthier lifestyle, which allows us to have more outdoor activities and an overall better quality of life. Yeah, that is what I and my family are currently enjoying in Nigeria. So the next one will be mental health. I know when I speak to some people, they'll be like, oh, your own is better now. What do? You have your business, people are doing the job for you. But the stress that comes with owning your business and running your business in the UK is something that is so difficult to deal with. First of all, the system, the bureaucracy, the regulation, the policy. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I cannot function well in a structured system. That is not it. It's just the red tape that comes with some of the things that we do and the current changes in regulation and having to manage people and manage yourself. And because of the way this system is generally, I know I'm speaking for so many people, it's just so stressful. I must say, as a family, we needed that break. My mental health, including my husband's, and I think for the children too, we just needed the break. And Nigeria seemed to offer that balance. I know it's strange to say, the stress and the fast pace of the UK can actually have a toll, which was what happened to us, and we we basically ran down to Nigeria. The slower pace coupled with the warmth of the community and that fact that that you're home, like you're in a familiar place, just makes it feel like I don't have a word for that feeling, so just take it as it is. We feel more relaxed and content and enjoying a balanced life. I know people are saying, are you talking about the same Nigeria? Yes, remember I'm talking based on my experiences so far here in Nigeria for the past 2 years. Another reason I would like to talk about is giving back to the community. And coming back to Nigeria has given us opportunity, to work with people grassroots, to see where we can help wherever we can. My husband and I believe that we can do these things through business venture, community project, or simply sharing our knowledge. The ability to contribute to the development of our community is something quite, fulfilling. It gives you that sense of purpose. Knowing that you're impacting people's life positively just makes it all worth it. I'm going to move on to my children learning the Nigerian culture. This was a very big thing for us. I will narrow it down to where we lived. We have predominantly white people there. We were like a minority in the area, and this was because of my husband's work in the army. But at some point we had few African families move to the area, which was really good to see. But for my children, I think their British side is like up there and their Nigerian side is way below. And this is not to say we don't teach them the culture. We try as much as we can to, teach them the culture. We try to teach them all that. But remember, when they go out, they meet their peers, and some parts, if not most part of the English culture, contrast with what we would do here in Nigeria. So it's really good to see them imbibing the culture and taking everything on board. Like I said before, this was one of the significant reasons we moved to Nigeria. They learn the language, they're getting to understand the tradition and appreciate the values that defines us as a people. And all these are invaluable for their personal growth and identity. So relocating from the UK to Nigeria was a decision rooted in multiple factors that collectively shaped an enriching and a fulfilling lifestyle for myself and my family. So to conclude this, I would say the decision to relocate from the UK to Nigeria is a combination of, a better weather, supportive community, enhanced safety, lower cost of living, and a desire to be closer to family. Additionally, it has provided us with freedom to pursue our dreams, improved mental health, opportunity to give back to our community. I like that my children are thriving and learning the culture and enjoying their stay so far here in Nigeria. So I'm delighted to report that coming to Nigeria has been enriching, rewarding, and fulfilling. So this affirms that saying, home is where the heart is. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'll be coming your way again with another interesting video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.